Welcome to the 2022 Steelers Draft Countdown Show with Kevin Colbert, Seth Myers, Pat Freiermuth, Mike Brasuda, Matt Williamson, Dale Lally. Also featuring Dave Dameshek. Now inside the UPMC Rooney Sports Complex, your host, Missi Matthews.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much, Larry, and welcome to the Steelers Draft Countdown Show. In just about an hour, the 2022 NFL Draft will start taking place in Las Vegas. But for the Steelers, all of their decisions happen in the Bill Nunn Draft Room here in Pittsburgh. The Steelers have 7 selections to make over the next 3 days, but tonight, the 20th overall pick is theirs for the first round. It is the one everybody loves to watch. Roger Goodell even hugs the selections. But first, we want to know from you guys, later tonight, they are going to make that pick. Who do you want to see the Steelers take? I'm sure there's lots of opinions, lots of positions, and we will go over those in just a little bit because, as we know, the draft is unpredictable. But now it is time to check in with a late night celebrity who just so happens to be a huge Steelers fan. Earlier this week, I had a chance to catch up with Seth Myers. Get ready to laugh. All right, joining us now, Seth Myers, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. But Seth, you weren't born in Pittsburgh. So before we get started and talk Steelers draft, explain how that happened.
My father grew up in Pittsburgh in Liberty. He went to Peabody High School. And a multi-generation Myers family in Pittsburgh. He was the first one to raise kids out of it. And it was just non-negotiable. We had to be Steelers fans, and I'm very happy about that. I have no complaints. It's been a wonderful ride.
What's your earliest Steelers memory or realizing, okay, I'm born into this fandom?
I remember the playoff loss against the San Diego Chargers in, I want to say 1982. I remember that being the first time that I was fully gutted and saying to my dad, I can't believe we lost. And he said, I'm so proud that you know it's we.
I love it. You have some children of your own now, so can you promise us you're raising them correctly?
I'm trying very hard. They have a lot of Steelers gear. The 4-year-old thinks Steelers is just how you say football. So I think he's a little bit behind. I'm going to blame it on the pandemic. The pandemic has slowed down learning for a lot of kids.
How often did you guys come back to Pittsburgh during your childhood? I know we've seen you at games recently at Heinz Field, but how familiar did you get with just the city, not the football team?
A lot. When my grandmother was still alive, we came once a year. And, she sadly, though, passed away, about 20 years ago now. And then we didn't really have a lot of reason to come back. I would make a trip every now and then to do a stand-up show. But a few years ago, Larry Paul, who's one of the minority owners of the Steelers, he reached out and invited my family. And so it's just been so nice to come once a year in the fall and see the Steelers play. It's the perfect reason to make a trip back.
So do you consider yourself a Yinzer?
I wouldn't dare to say I'm a full Yinzer, but I do feel like I have it in the bloodstream.
Do you have a favorite Pittsburgh word or saying, since, sometimes people come to Pittsburgh, they're like, why are you guys talking like that?
I like the way my grandmother said flowers, flowers.
Roll it all together, right?
Yeah, flowers. And then, the best was I slept out for tickets to the 1994 AFC Championship game. On my way from New Hampshire to Chicago, where I went to college, we drove via Pittsburgh to sleep outside Three River Stadium to then buy tickets to the awful Alfred Papunu Chargers loss. But I remember thinking I was the biggest Steelers fan in the world until I slept outside for tickets at Three River Stadium and realizing I wasn't. And my favorite thing I heard that night was a Yinzer saying, Neil O'Donnell's got to take it to the next echelon. So echelon, I think, is a really good Yinzer word as well.
But that's dedication. We can make you an honorary Yinzer since you never physically lived here.
With an asterisk. I did physically live there for a couple years when I was a baby, but I wasn't born there.
Okay. All right. I read, and I have not seen this, which I can't believe I haven't, that during your SNL days, you impersonated Bill Cowher. A, is that true? And B, can you give us some Coach Cowher?
Well, it was a real D- of a sketch insofar as how it was received by the audience. It was with Paris Hilton.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I played a Yinzer who thought he did a very good Bill Cowher.
Okay.
And then it was, but so you have to picture me with a mustache and then
the chin.
Yeah, the chin.
Now,
here's a fun fact about Bill Cowher and I. His daughter had a baby in the same hospital as us on the same day as us. That's
cool. Did you guys know it at the time?
No, we found out after the fact. And
darn.
Imagine how excited I was. I'm gonna show everybody.
We like the mug.
How many people overpaid for this on eBay?
Probably not enough, but imagine the people that have like the original ones. You know, they're making out right now.
This is an original one. You didn't.
I'm not knocking you. I'm saying other people that are selling them.
Oh yeah, that's true. They're the ones that are making out like bandits.
Now, you've hosted the NFL Honors. You've hosted the ESPYs. When it comes to the draft, that's like 3 straight days, talking nonstop, coming up with random fun facts of these players. Is that something you think you could do?
I would love to spend a whole draft talking about the draft. I think that would be when I grew up as a kid, we would often be on spring break and my parents were so upset because I would want to spend the entire day inside watching the NFL draft. It is one of my, I understand that the NFL makes more money spreading it out. I did enjoy a 1-day draft. I liked getting a couple rounds in over the course of an afternoon, but I'll take it how it comes.
All right, the Steelers have the 20th overall pick. Put your general manager hat on. What are you doing with that selection? The
only thing I'm not doing is running back or tight end, probably edge rusher. Anything else from wide open. I think they've done an excellent job in free agency. And so this is a real nice situation for best available player on the board. Devontae Wyatt, I think it would be amazing if Kyle Hamilton dropped. One of the receivers would be great. I think there's a wealth of options. And I don't want them to trade up, but if a quarterback they fall in love with falls to them at 20, go for it.
All right. I like it. You are ready for Thursday.
I'm so ready.
I know you won the Celebrity Poker Showdown. I don't know how to play poker, but my friends here at the Steelers pretended to teach me how to play blackjack. So we're going to do black and gold blackjack.
Okay.
This is going to be just a little bit. Hold on. I got to be official here. All right. Showing everybody that I'm not cheating. I'll give it one shuffle. Oh, God. This is embarrassing. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm dealing you.
Okay.
We got a queen. And we have a 2. So do you want to add them up and give me a jersey number? Do you want to just take one of them?
Sure.
I mean, this is kind of easy.
That's Terry Bradshaw. There you go. First round pick, 1970. Only time
All right.
First overall?
Yes, he was. Yeah. All right. I'm being told I'm doing this wrong. Let's try one more time. All right. A 6, a 2. So do you want to hit or stay?
Am I taking 26 or am I taking 8?
We'll do 8.
26. I'm going to do 26, though, and I'm going to say Rod Woodson, first round pick, 1987.
You are good.
I'm really good at this. This is the way we're doing this is way more fun than however they're telling you to do this.
All right, perfect. All right, then let's do it again. All right, a 10, an 8.
Okay. That's 18. Hit me.
All right. A jack. All right. Bust.
That's 28.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't really have a good 28. Keep going.
All right, let's do it again.
All right.
A 4 and a 7.
47, that's Mel Blount.
I like where your head's at. I like how we're playing this game.
Yeah, I know. Not a first round pick, right?
No. All right. King and a 5.
15. Man, I can't think of a single Steeler that was 15.
There's some recent ones. DeMarcus Ayers, Justin Brown. That's probably,
I would be very impressed with myself if I got either Ayers or Brown.
Yeah, I would be too. But you did awesome. And
Dave Brown was a first round pick, 1975.
I'm going to have to check that one. I'm not sure, but I believe you because you clearly came prepared. I, can't even shuffle a deck of cards. So, the terrible towel.
Come on. If you won't take me as a Yenzer, who will you take?
We will take you as a Yinzer. Absolutely. We hope to see you at a game sometime soon. Seth, thank you so much for your time tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Missy.
All right, late night with Seth Myers on NBC. You just saw he's a great Steelers fan, so make sure you tune in. But we did ask you guys, and you answered who you want to see the Steelers select tonight with the 20th overall pick. So we are going to go through some of your answers. Desmond the Truth Ritter. I had a feeling quarterbacks would be pretty popular here. That one was from Chad. Jesse wants Malik Willis. As I said, I think there's no wrong way you can go as safety. Seth was talking about going defense with an edge rusher. I really think everyone will be surprised but not surprised in terms of what the Steelers do. So thanks to Kyle and everyone else, Greg, Devontae Wyatt, who Seth also mentioned for answering. We're going to have another one for you, so stay tuned for that. But we have a chance to catch up with Mike Prisuta of the DVE Morning Show. He is in Las Vegas. He's going to see firsthand how things go, so let's check in with Mike.
Thanks, Missy. You know, it's been said often over the years, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's the theory, at least. But what we're going to see here tonight and what's going to happen in Vegas this weekend is going to resonate from Atlanta to Seattle and throughout the National Football League. There's a tremendous sense of anticipation here. I imagine it's that way every year, but particularly this year in Las Vegas, we're all waiting and wondering to see which teams are going to be willing to go all in, push all their chips to the middle of the table, and take a chance on that tantalizing upside that may or may not be realized for whatever reason. The gambling nature of this thing is, I think, what attracts people to it. It's an inexact science. Everybody here, all the teams are going to be rolling the dice to some degree. We'll see who can come up with 7 and who comes up with snake eyes. Of course, quarterbacks and trades are going to dominate the way the first round plays out. The Lions, Packers, Texans, Chiefs, Saints, Giants, Jets, and Eagles all have multiple picks in the first round. They may be in a mood to move, and we're also going to find out which teams, if there are any, are willing to make a big move and maybe get themselves a Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder, or Sam Howell. Those are the quarterbacks that everybody's got their eye on this weekend. I talked to one of the law enforcement officers in town today. He said they're expecting 200,000 people per day on the Strip. Yeah, Vegas is a big event town, and the place is flooded with NFL fans. Everybody, it seems, has a hat, a T-shirt, a game jersey. I saw a guy wearing a Cam Hayward jersey. I don't think it was Cam Hayward, but you get the idea. All the fans are representing, and Missy, it feels like all the fans feel as if their team's going to be the one that hits the jackpot here in Vegas this weekend. Back to you, Missy.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. Make sure you stay out of trouble. Love that he's already seeing Steelers fans, and who doesn't love a Cam Hayward jersey? Well, this draft for Kevin Colbert will be his last in the official capacity as the Steelers general manager. This week, everybody wanted to reminisce about his 22-year career, but he was laser focused about this entire process. And this weekend, here's part of my one-on-one with Kevin. Kevin, Coach told us that he was appreciating his time with you through this draft process, knowing that it was your last one in the official capacity as GM. Did you take any of those moments or maybe catch Coach Tomlin, thinking maybe a little bit more about what you guys do during this time of year?
Not really. I mean, we really didn't talk too much about it. A lot of that is just natural interaction between Coach and myself. And, you don't really focus on it because you don't have time, because you're usually moving from one area to another. I think a lot of that stuff will come to mind when this draft process is over. But not to say we take for granted everything that we do in a given setting throughout this process, but a lot of it we do take for granted because we know we have to do this to get ready for that. By the way, this is coming down the road. So it's a timely flow type thing that I think we'll appreciate more once it's over.
This is not football related, but up in the draft room, I heard there were some tables that were in Three Rivers that you were responsible for bringing over to here. Maybe they were refurbished. Do you know what tables I'm talking about?
Yeah, they were never refurbished. I think you're referencing the tables that have a few cigarette burns. They may be cigar burns, not quite sure. But back in the day, when smoking was more common, within office buildings everywhere, and I'm sure it was at Three Rivers as well. There's some tables up there with cigarette burns in, and I think we can all use our imagination as to how that occurred. But we actually moved one of those tables over, and we drafted from that specific table. I forget exactly what year that was. It may have been after we unfortunately lost Bill Nunn. Just to bring Bill back to the room in a closer endeavor, we moved that table over for that draft purpose. Again, there's a lot of tradition in this building. There's been a lot of significant happenings in that room, and hopefully we can add to it.
Are there any other traditions that maybe you started or brought along when you took over?
Well, we actually get donuts from a specific
That's right.
place down, a specific little donut shop in Beaver Falls. I'll give them a little plug, Orm's Donuts, who has the best donuts. As you can tell, I eat a few donuts along the way and have sampled many around the country. But Orm's is a little tradition that I myself will go down there Wednesday morning and bring them back for the pre-draft meeting that Art will hold with the entire building, and of course our mock draft situation.
Lastly for you, Clemson, Pitt, recognized you. I'm sure you hated every minute of it, but what did that mean to you, and were you kind of surprised and maybe taken back?
Yeah, I was shocked, quite honestly. We come to the end. Coach Sweeney was talking to the group, as he always did, and said, whoa, wait a minute, we have something to take care of. And I was like, oh, okay, let's go. We got the pro day to take care of. And then they started a video, which was like, oh, geez. And then, Coach and Woody presented me the jersey. And then, the following week we're at Pitt. And then when we get out to the field, Coach Narduzzi pulls up the mic in front of the, the national audience, because you have a big audience there to see their players, of course, Kenny Pickett in particular. And they presented me with a nice gift, and all that stuff was very humbling. It was very nice. It made me feel special for maybe being part of their time.
All right, and I had much more time to chat with Kevin Colbert. You could see all of that interview on the Steelers official YouTube page. But just a little bit of trivia about Kevin Colbert. He has drafted every position in the first round except for offensive tackle. So we'll have to stay tuned and see if that changes or not tonight. Now, speaking of trivia, we want to tell you about Yin's Chat. It is a way to win daily prizes. Also, a grand prize of a VIP trip to the team's home opener. Yin's Chat's for you. Check it out. Here are some of the different questions that they are asking. You still have time to answer them. Just make sure that you lock in your answer tonight by 8 p.m. Head to the Steelers mobile app, click on Yin's Chat, and create a profile to enter. Also, Steelers history, another awesome social account the Steelers have started, and their call to action tonight, what they want to know from you, the fans, who is your all-time favorite Steelers draft pick? Yeah, we'll get to that. We know that there's probably a lot of choices, a lot of gold jackets you can go after, so make sure you hop on Twitter and answer that. Now, we have a new segment here called Ifsburg, and Dave Dameshek, a Pittsburgh native, enters a different world and reviews and goes back and explores a what-if scenario for the 1983 draft.
39 years, 4 Super Bowl appearances, and 2 more Lombardis to go along with those first 4 from the 70s, and a lot of terrible towel-waving fans still can't help but ask, what if the Steelers had drafted Danny Marino in 1983? We now know Chaz Nolan, the Brain Trust, felt comfy at QB with Terry, Cliff Stout, and 1980 first-rounder Mark Malone already in the locker room, so they used the 21st pick in 83 to address the aging defensive line. But what if they'd gone with Pitt's star quarterback, future Hall of Famer, and Oakland's own Marino, who'd somehow fallen behind Todd Blackledge and Tony Eason in the draft pecking order and into the lap of his hometown pro team? Well, the 80 Steelers would have been good. Real good. To be fair, they already were good. They just paled in comparison to their forefathers who'd won 4 of 6 Super Bowls to close out the previous decade. Nevertheless, the 83 team went 10-6 and won the AFC Central, and that was with Stout throwing 21 picks while Bradshaw was healing up from elbow surgery. Now, it's highly likely Noel would have given the first shot to either Stout or Malone over a rookie, but at some point, the talent upgrade would have been too tough to ignore, and 83 ends with a loss in LA to the best in conference Raiders, but with a very bright future. The Steelers roster now features the game's best QB, a nasty D, and a pair of great pass catchers. Hey, deja vu. But now filling the Lynn Swann role is 84 rookie Louis Lips, who alongside John Stallworth light up the NFL with a record-breaking sophomore quarter. In January, Marino gets over on his draft classmate Elway and his 13-win Broncos. This isn't that big a leap since Malone actually did beat him a mile high that year, then play host to the AFC's other powerhouse, the Miami Dolphins. Pittsburgh squishes the fish and heads to California, where they face another Western Pennsylvania QB named Montana. The NFL's two greatest 20th century dynasties, Steelers, Niners, featuring two of the game's best QBs, almost like when two other Pittsburgh guys named Unitas and Namath played 16 years prior. In this Super Bowl, the Steelers prove a scooch superior because unlike the Dolphins, Pittsburgh could run and throw the ball, and Marino hoists the Lombardi, his first of two. That's right, the all-time great who infamously didn't win one in Miami gets two, making him the best human ever at sport's most important position, while solidifying the Steelers as the sport's greatest team.
Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl.
What, you don't think Marino could have handled the Bears 46D the following year? Don't forget, he whipped them on Monday Night Football, so it stands to reason he'd do it on the fast track of the Superdome in Super Bowl 20. And in doing so, exposes the Bears D as a pretender to the Steel Curtain's throne. And that's that. Sorry, Dolphins. At least I didn't take away the U. And no worries, Cleveland. You can still have the U's former quarterback, Bernie Kosar. You can have him, because Pittsburgh now goes Bradshaw to Marino to Big Ben. And also 8 Lombardi trophies.
All right, welcome back to reality. Our many thanks to Dave. We now want to show some of your answers to who is your favorite Steelers all-time draft pick. What did everybody say on Twitter? Thanks to the Steelers history account. Here's an easy one. Hall of Famer, gold jacket guy, Jerome Bettis. They traded for, so Troy Polamalu, another Hall of Famer, just inducted. That was sure a ton of fun when we were in Canton, Ohio. Kendrell Bell. Let's see what else we got. I think we have tons of answers. Ben or Troy, that's fair. You could go offense and defense there. So like where everyone's head's at. And thanks again for participating and tweeting us some of your responses. Now, one of last year's rookies, he decided to help us out. He hit the streets here on the south side of Pittsburgh, and he asked fans to get their perspective about this year's draft and a few other things. Here's a little segment we like to call Muth on the Street.
What's up, guys? It's Pat Freiermuth, tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm here on Southside Works going to ask local Yinzers what they're most excited for in the 2022 NFL Draft. We're calling it Muth on the Street. Who's your favorite Steelers rookie from last year, and why was it Pat Freiermuth?
Honestly, I'm not a huge Steelers fan. Just moved here like 6 months ago, so I'm still getting into it.
All right. Who is your favorite Steelers rookie from last year?
Pat Freiermuth.
Why is that?
He replaced the legend, Keith Miller.
I didn't replace him, but I'm trying.
You're going to replace him. Came in, balled out, good red zone threat.
All right.
Big year coming this year.
I appreciate it, man. Should I ask those ladies over there? What about this time? Who's your favorite Steeler of all time?
Jerome Bettis.
I like that.
Boss, all right. How many Super Bowls have the Steelers won? All time.
6.
She's a super fan. Who should the Steelers draft this year in the first round?
QB, just in case. Lineman, probably.
Lineman?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Last question. How do you spell Freiermuth?
F-I-R-A-M-O-T-H?
No, not quite. It's all good, not quite. How do you spell Freiermuth?
F-R-E-I-E-R-M-U-T-H.
Damn! That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get shut down right here. You should ask my dog. We need like the authentic like Yinzers. Are you guys Steelers fans?
We are.
Yeah, okay.
If I get this wrong, my mom's gonna kill me, so.
Who was the Steelers' first round pick last year? Who was the second round pick? And why was he better?
Ooh, first round pick.
Najee Harris.
He was just in here last week.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't really like him. It's okay.
You can't say that.
Who was the second round pick?
No.
You know, you ever heard of Pat Freiermuth?
I have not.
Oh, that's awkward. We should go on a finish line. We should just stay right here. We should honestly just go up to cars at stoplights. Who was your favorite rookie from last year? Yeah. You're an Eagles fan? All right. Pitt or Penn State? Why? Penn State's better. Like, Pitt is Penn State's safety school. You can agree now. I'm gonna get a lot of hate in Pittsburgh. You got a quick second for the Steelers? Come on, it's gonna be fun. Who's your all-time favorite Steeler?
Probably Troy Polamalu.
Troy Polamalu, why is that?
Yeah, I just like the hair, man.
You like the hair?
Yeah.
You wish you had some of that hair?
I had some.
Oh, no. You were in the car.
I live right around the street.
You were in the car that I was yelling to?
That was me.
Now you can hear me.
I just love arguing.
So back to the Pitt or Penn State question. We gotta talk about that.
Okay. So my granddad went to Penn State, and my cousin also goes to Penn State, and my stepfather also goes to Penn State.
Yeah.
What kind of person would I be if I said that I didn't like Pitt and I went there?
ACC is not as strong as the Big Ten, and
Okay.
Penn State doesn't really lose to Pitt. Pitt fans don't hate me for this, but I'm just saying Penn State's better than Pitt. Pitt or Penn State?
Pitt, even though you went to Penn State.
Damn. Pitt or Penn State?
Pitt.
Yeah. Pitt or Penn State?
Pitt.
Why?
I went there.
What's up, bees?
What's up, man?
Penn State, baby. So I'm gonna ask you a real simple question.
Yeah.
Pitt or Penn State?
Obviously Penn State.
And why is that?
I mean, I could go through about 30 different aspects on why.
I could.
I mean, atmosphere, stadium size, school size, everything. Just a better program overall. Not even.
Better program. Who was the Steelers' first round pick last year? Who was the second round pick? And why was the second round pick better than the first round pick?
Najee and you, you're better, obviously, Penn State. That's why. I mean, and you're already about to be a top 5 tight end in the league. So I mean, what else is there to say?
Had fun talking to all the Yingers out there today on the street. Good luck to Coach Tomlin and Mr. Colbert tonight in the draft, but especially tomorrow. Hit another home run in the second round. Muth out.
All right, I'm a very proud Pitt alum and the lady who loves to debate Pitt and Penn State. Pat and I do a little bit of that too. So Pat, a little fun fact for you tonight. The Steelers have actually drafted more players from Pitt than that other college that also happens to be in Pennsylvania. Well, when we talk about the NFL draft, that means mock drafts. You've probably read a million of them, and we are getting closer to 8 o'clock, so they're not going to matter anymore, but we have time to squeeze in just one more with our friends from Steelers Radio Network. And yes, we love them, but just a fair warning, the Steelers organization does not have to agree with any of their opinions, and it does not reflect the organization. All right, guys, final mock draft. Let's get to it. We'll do 1, 2, 3. We'll keep it going. Jacksonville, first overall pick. Who are they taking?
Don't need 10 minutes to make this one. Don't need 10 seconds. Trayvon Walker, edge, Georgia.
All right. Pick number 2, Detroit Lionsdale.
The ball has officially been dropped there. I'm going to take Aiden Hutchinson for the Lions, defensive end out of Michigan.
All right. Third pick, Houston Texans.
Yeah, they need everything. I'm going to take the corner out of Cincinnati, Sauce Gardner.
All right. Number 4, New York Jets.
Strong pick, Sauce Gardner. New York Jets will in turn take one of the tackles that's still available, Evan Neal, Alabama.
We have at 5, the New York Giants, Dale.
And the G-men will take Ikem Ekwonu, offensive tackle out of NC State.
Jets might have taken him, but we don't know how to say it. Evan Neal's easier.
That is true.
All right, number 6, getting back on track, Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's 3 tackles in a row here. Charles Cross. I'm going to ignore the quarterback need and go tackle.
Okay, interested to see where you guys get the quarterbacks going here. All right, number 7, New York Giants once again.
New York Giants are going to go off of our board because Kyle Hamilton is still there, and we're going to take Kyle Hamilton, safety, Notre Dame.
Okay. Pick 8, Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons are going to take Garrett Wilson, wide receiver out of Ohio State.
All right. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, we're going to keep Kayvon Thibodeau in Oregon here and take him. The Duck is going to become a Seahawk here.
Okay. Back to New York we go. This with the Jets, 10th overall, Pursuta.
Jets at 10th overall are going to go with edge rusher George Karlaftis, Purdue.
Okay. Washington Commanders, number 11.
Well, that's interesting. I think the Washington Commanders at this point are going to take Drake London, wide receiver out of USC.
All right. Minnesota Vikings with the 12th
Yeah,
overall
the Vikings are very happy you guys left Derek Stingley from LSU there for the 12th pick. I'm jumping all over him.
Yeah, Houston would have really appreciated a corner there. Who did we take?
They took Sauce to
third
begin
overall.
with.
Okay, we got
yeah,
Sauce, so we
right,
don't
right.
have to corner the corner market. In that case, we're going to go wide receiver deep in the heart of Texas and go with Chris Olave from the Ohio State University.
All right. That was pick 13, Baltimore Ravens on the clock at 14, Dale.
The Baltimore Ravens are taking Jordan Davis, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Makes perfect sense. Philly with the first of 2 picks. They're going to take Jermaine Johnson from Florida State. Pretty happy he's still available.
All right. Pick 16, Saints.
The Alabama kid's still on the board, right? The wide receiver?
Sure is, Jameson Williams.
Not anymore. Headed to the Big Easy.
All right, Dale, 17th overall, LA Chargers.
The LA Chargers, well, they need a little help on their offensive line. They are going to take Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa.
All right, back to the Eagles, pick 18.
Yeah, we went with the edge rusher with the first one. We're going to get a corner here, Trent McDuffie from Washington. Shore up that pass defense a little bit.
All right, Saints again, Pursuta, 19th overall.
New Orleans Saints at 19. We could use an offensive lineman here, and there's a kid by the name of Zion Johnson out of Boston College that can play a bunch of those O-line positions. We'll figure one out for him.
All right, Dale, no pressure. I think we all know who has pick 20.
I'm all in.
You all in?
On Malik Willis, quarterback, Liberty.
Okay.
Hard to pass on him there. Huh?
Hard to pass on him
Worked
there.
out
The first
well.
quarterback selected in the draft. The upside is tremendous.
Get your pick of the litter.
Yeah.
I will also put all of the Saints chips in. And whoever else I'm representing.
I like my cards better than yours.
It's a strong pick.
Yeah, strong pick.
Absolutely.
All right, the Patriots at 21.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd fits in here with the Patriots really well. Sizable linebacker, can do a lot. Belichick will have him all over the defense.
All right, moving to 22, Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers, got to keep Aaron Rodgers happy. Need to get a wide receiver. Treylon Burks from Arkansas fits.
Arizona Cardinals with the 23rd overall pick.
A lot of different ways the Cardinals could go here. I'm going to go with the value pick and take Daxton Hill, safety out of Michigan.
All right, Dallas Cowboys at 24.
They're going to stay in Texas, get a guard out of A&M, Kenyon Green, try to rebuild that offensive line a little bit.
Buffalo Bills at 25. Triv, you're up.
Let's go with quarterback Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson. Bills like that physicality on defense. He'll fit right in.
Thought about him with the last pick, but went with Hill.
Well, now you're up at 26. Tennessee Titans. What are they going to do?
Tennessee Titans are going to take Kenny Pickett, quarterback Pitt. They have not really hidden their want for a quarterback in this draft. They could get one.
Makes all sense in the world.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 27.
Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle from Georgia, fits the scheme really well. Instant help for a pass rusher. They're in it to win it this year with Brady's last couple seasons or last season. Who knows?
All right, back to the Packers. This is the 28th overall pick.
Green Bay's going to go offensive line. Tyler Linderbaum, Iowa.
Interesting.
All right, next up at 29 and 30, Chiefs have both picks. Dale, you're up at 29.
With their first pick, the Chiefs are going to take Boye Amafe, edge rusher out of Minnesota. They could really use some help on that defensive side of the ball.
Well, they could use a receiver too. So Jahan Dotson from Penn State makes a lot of sense for them too.
Almost took him with the first pick. Thought I'd leave it for you.
Oh, thanks so much.
All right, 2 more picks to go in the first round. Cincinnati Bengals on the clock at the 31st overall pick. Triv.
Cincinnati would be tempted to go cornerback here, I think. Cincinnati would be tempted to go offensive line here, but there's an edge rusher out of Penn State, Arnold Ibikite,
close enough,
who I think is going to sneak his way into the first round, and at 31, he just got in under the wire.
All right, final pick of the first round, Detroit Lions at 32. You guys can fight over who gets this last one.
Well, you know, I've picked 2 quarterbacks already in this draft, and I'm going to make it 3. I'm taking Desmond Ridder, quarterback out of Cincinnati for the Lions. So I made all 3 quarterback picks.
Nice job.
You're the quarterback whisperer.
That's what I am.
All right, guys, thanks so much. All in on this mock draft. Last one. Real things happening in just a little bit. All right, and thanks so much to the Omni William Penn in downtown Pittsburgh for allowing us to use their speakeasy room. And thanks to the guys again for doing one last mock draft. That's going to do it here tonight for the Steelers Draft Countdown Show. But don't forget, as soon as the Steelers make their selection at 20th overall in the first round, Matt Williamson, who you just saw from Steelers Nation Radio, will be joining me. Instant analysis. What does the pick mean? What is the player like? And we'll also have the live press conferences of head coach Mike Tomlin and Steelers General Manager Kevin Colbert. Make sure you join us wherever you're watching tonight. We will see you after the pick as well. Thanks so much for joining us once again, and happy draft day.